Hi, this is Eric from longboxreview.com, and this is another edition of The Gutters, where I'm driving in my car and talking about things related to comics. So this time, what am I doing? So there's a couple things that have converged in my life recently that are comic related. One is that I went to Emerald City Comic Con, and I talked about that, I believe, on episode 98 with my good friend Travis. And we talked about our experiences at Emerald City Comic Con. And one of the things that I did while I was at Emerald City Comic Con was I bought a bunch of back issues. Aside from just going to the con and experiencing it, that was my primary goal, was to buy a lot of back issues, and I spent a good chunk of money on that, and I brought home a lot of comics. I can't remember how many issues I bought now, but it was a lot. So basically it filled up a long box. Well, it was a lot for me, but I filled up a long box when I brought them back home and put them in the box. So now I have to integrate those all into my collection, and I'm in the process of doing that, and also recataloging everything, moving to a different cataloging program. But there was a point when I was buying all these comics at Emerald City Comic Con where I could have bought a bunch more, a whole bunch more. But it came to, Saturday. I think it was Saturday afternoon of the con. And suddenly I just bought a bunch of books. And suddenly, panic is not the right word, but I suddenly was really anxious about how much money I was spending. And so I stopped and didn't buy any more comics the rest of the con. Now, flash forward several days, I'm back at home, and like I said, I'm cataloging them, I'm rebagging them, because a lot of the stuff that I bought, oh my God, the bags are horrible. But I'm bagging and boarding them. But I'm realizing that I have just added another box to my collection, and I'm looking in my office, and I'm running out of space. Okay, so that's item number one. Item number two, this is the convergence. So just recently, as I record this, my wife and I finally got our wills finalized. Everything's all done, and we were talking about the stuff that we would want to pass along to our daughter Brittany and to our grandchildren from our other daughter. And the subject of my comic collection came up, and my collection is not worth like a lot of money. I don't have a lot of key issues. I collect the things that I like. Some of those things happen to have increased in value over time, and that's great, but that's not the primary reason why I have them. It's not the primary reason why I buy anything at all. I just like to get the comics that I like to read, and that's it. However, what am I going to do with these after I'm gone? And turns out my lovely daughter doesn't want these. She doesn't want to hold on to these, and I don't blame her, because I have quite a few boxes, and I've got thousands of comics. I've got over, including trades and all the single issues of things, I've got well over 10,000 comics in my collection now, and that's kind of a burden to pass along to your kid, especially if they are not into comics, and they are not. My granddaughter Madison, whom I've mentioned many times on the podcast, she is into these things, so she offered to take them, which I thought was damn cute. So we'll see about that. But the whole point is that, like I said, eventually I'm going to stop. Either I'm going to just stop collecting, or I'm going to die, and that's kind of final. So I won't be collecting those things anymore. But I'll have all this paper, all these comics sitting on the shelves or sitting in the boxes, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I'm running out of room, like I said. What am I doing? And so I'm starting to think, well, I should cut back, or maybe I should just go to trades, or I should go to digital so I don't have to have all this space taken up in my house for these comics. But man, I have a hard time with that too, because I don't own those digital images necessarily, and I doubt I could even replace my entire collection with digital comics as it is right now. So I don't know. It's just a thought that's been weighing on me for quite a while. I know a lot of people go through this. I've listened to a lot of people on other podcasts, other people in real life that I talk to, when they talk about what they did with their physical collection and what they're doing now as far as their comic book reading. And I always, even just 6 months to a year ago, I would never have thought of these things. But for some reason, my experience at Emerald City Comic Con and my most recent experience finalizing our wills made me really start to wonder about these things and what I should do about that. And I have no answers here. This is just some free-form thoughts as I'm driving to work. But if you have experienced this, or you have any thoughts about this, I'd really love to hear those things. Tell me what you've gone through and what you did. I would really appreciate that. I would consider that a personal favor if you did to help me wade through these murky waters, if you will, that I'm treading right now. So if you would like to impart some of those words of wisdom to me, I'd appreciate it again. And you can do so by emailing me at longboxreview@gmail.com, or you can always hit me up on Twitter at longboxreview. I'd really appreciate it, guys. That's it. That's all I got from the gutters this time. Thanks for listening. Bye. Hi, this is Eric from longboxreview.com with an announcement. So I wanted to let you know that I'm about to record the Longbox Review podcast 100th episode. But before I do that, I wanted to invite you to submit suggestions for topics or your comments on your favorite episode or moment from the show, or any other questions that you may have for me that I can answer on the air. If you prefer, here are some questions that you can answer for me. And thanks to listener Sean for these suggestions. 1, how did you get into comics and why? 2, what are some of your favorite comics and why? 3, do you have any experiences with comic book creators that you'd like to share? And finally, what do comics mean to you? If you would like to participate in this way, and I challenge all of my listeners to do so, please email me at longboxreview@gmail.com. You can tweet at me at longboxreview, or you can leave a comment on the Facebook page at facebook.com/longboxreview. If you're feeling particularly bold, you can always leave me voicemail at 208-953-1841. All of these and the rest of my contact information can be found by clicking the contact/feedback tab at longboxreview.com. I look forward to your responses, and I want to thank you in advance for supporting the show for 100 episodes. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.